But true or false, the 2009 Steelers defense was better than Seattle's Legion of Boom in 2013.
No.
False.
False.
You guys say
False.
Bro,
run down the
Legion of
stats, or you
Boom,
guys
bro?
want to answer first?
False.
It ain't about okay.
Pull up Legion of Boom's roster for me, and I'm gonna pull up the Steelers
Dude,
roster.
that defensive. Oh my god.
So true. Go into why you think Legion of Boom is better,
Bro,
or I
Legion
could
of
run down the
Boom-
stats.
The Steelers defense was for sure scary, but Legion of Boom, bro, that they literally struck fear, bro. When you played them, that was the year they shut out Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Richard Sherman, oh my God, what a year he had. Earl Thomas at the safety position, Cam Chancellor.
Cam Chancellor.
Cam Chancellor.
So okay, so
All right.
go ahead, read it off.
Steve-
I'm gonna save you the headache. Leave out James Harrison and leave out Troy
No,
Polamalu.
why would I leave them out?
Name any no. I'm saying leave them out because name anyone that was to that level.
Lamar
besides
Woodley,
Okay.
13 and a
Okay.
half sacks.
Okay.
What you mean?
Okay.
Ike Taylor was decent.
Mm.
Ryan Clark was pretty good. But bro, Troy Polamalu. All right, let me get into it. Let me get into it.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying to just take them out like they don't count. I'm saying besides those two top tier defensive players, they didn't really have anyone else.
Okay.
Lamar-
All right. So
Lamar
take out Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor then.
Earl Thomas, Brendan Browning, KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, Bruce Irvin.
Bobby Wagner. Okay, but the rest. Okay.
No, they're all savages, bro.
All right.
Savages.
Let's get into the stats though. So points allowed, the Steelers allowed 231. They led the league. I'm sorry, that's Seattle. Allowed 231, led the league. Steelers also led the league with 237, so only allowed 6 more points for the whole season.
Went to Legion of Boom. Okay, that's
By 6 points, 1 touchdown over the entire season.
whether it's an inch or a mile, brother.
All right, if we really want to get into it, do you remember what play sent the Steelers to that Super Bowl in the AFC Championship?
A first down.
Troy Polamalu pick 6.
Oh.
What happened at the last second of the half in the Super Bowl? James Harrison 100-yard pick 6. They don't win that Super Bowl without that defense.
Rigged.
The Seahawks won.
Okay,
The Seahawks won the playoffs with that defense too.
Okay, that's fine.
They
But
shut down.
But what
Peyton
I'm saying, all right. Give me 2 iconic plays that won them the playoff games or Super Bowl.
Doesn't really matter. It's
no.
more.
Richard
It's
Sherman-
more. It's more of a whole.
Richard
Like that's what
Sherman
makes
and,
it. Like
Crabtree.
one play doesn't
Okay,
make you a solid defense.
Do you remember-
He just said it.
Richard Sherman and Crabtree.
Yeah, that one play that he stopped him in the end zone. But do
Yeah.
you remember their defense scoring? I could be wrong, but do you remember their defense even
But
scoring?
what I'm saying is not about that.
They got in their
it's
minds,
it's a
bro.
whole season worth of defensive stops and fear that they put in offenses didn't know how to maneuver.
Bro, Legion of Boom. That
All right,
Legion
well,
of Boom is legendary, bro.
basically,
I'm not
bo-
discrediting Steelers. I'm just saying they're legendary.
Okay, but let me tell you why they're legendary. Because
Okay.
they led in every stat, which the Steelers also did. They're first in yards per game allowed, first in scoring defense, first in pass defense, second
Who
in
is
run
this?
defense.
Who is this?
Steelers. And like I said, their defense came up with multiple iconic, game-changing plays in the Seahawks in the playoffs. And you could say the same for the Seahawks, except for the game-changing iconic plays.
Okay, so besides the plays, let's see the stops. Read me their defensive stats. Like how many picks
I
did
just
they have?
said.
No, how many picks did they have as a team? How many sacks did they have as a team?
Well, I
It
mean,
was specifically the year that you said 2009, and I have 2013.
all right. Well, you looked it up already.
Yeah.
Then read it out while I look it up, because I just know what they were ranked in, which I read out.
Okay. So hold on, I have to add it up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter because we already looked at the ranking. They were all first. The only thing that Steelers weren't first in is run defense, and they were second. They only allowed 80 yards per game running. So that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the Seahawks edge it stats-wise, but what I'm trying to say is during the game, in the game, they made way bigger plays than the Seahawks did, and that's why I'm putting them over them. That's my whole point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying that's not true. I
You
get.
are. You said that's
no.
false.
I'm not. What I'm saying is, I know I'm not saying what your thing isn't valid, but what I'm saying is the reason why I gave it to Legion of Boom is because you can't base you can't base a solid defense just off of 1, 2, 3, 5 defensive stops / plays. It's just how they performed as a whole unit for a whole season
Okay, so
consistently.
I got a question to
And I'm not saying the Steelers didn't do that. They both did it. The 2009 Steelers and the 2013 Legion of Boom defense, they were both solid defenses consistently throughout the whole season, which gave them that tier that they're on. But now you look at the stats, like you just did, and you said it was steered towards the Legion of Boom. So you can't take that away from them and give it to the Steelers just because a few defensive plays. The defensive plays are molded into the stats that you just read. And despite those defensive plays, Seattle was still ahead.
Flo, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go by. Wait, Oz, you said false or true or false?
No, he's
False.
False. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Who had the better? Let's break into positions. Who had the better secondary, Seahawks or Steelers? Don't need to think, bro. They call Legion. They call LO Legion of Boom for a reason.
Okay, yeah.
Steelers. I mean, the Seahawks.
The Seahawks do have a better overall secondary.
Who
I
has
would
the
agree
better
with that.
Front seven.
I would say
Seahawks.
I would say Steelers. I would put Steelers. I would be more afraid of.
nah,
Bro, their linebacker, like he said, Bobby Wagner,
bro.
Bruce Irvin, KJ Wright.
Their secondary, as in their safeties and cornerbacks, it's kind of a 50-50.
No,
No,
it's
no.
not.
I
It's
would
kind
even
of a
say
50-50.
Cam
Only-
Chancellor and Richard Sherman put them over the top. I would say.
Bro, he had two
but-
shutdown corners and two safeties that everybody
Okay,
everybody feared.
Okay. You have it leaning towards Legion of Boom, but Steelers are still up there. But the front seven, that's
All right.
100% Seattle.
I got
Yeah.
a question for you guys.
Those were
I got a question for
hard-hitting
you guys.
dudes.
James Harrison won Defense Player of the Year that year, so he was in his prime. And Troy Polamalu is Troy Polamalu, the GOAT, besides Ed Reed at safety. The GOAT. So do you guys think any one of Seattle's players are better than any one of those two?
At that time,
At that time?
career wise,
At that current, like the
In the 2000, the Legion of Boom in the Super Bowl year
yes,
that they
yes,
had.
yes,
Yes.
Who? Richard Sherman? You would put him over Polamalu.
yes.
yes, in that time,
In that time. Not
In that
career-wise.
time.
Don't say
not career.
career-wise.
Yes, in that time, in that Legion.
We're
Well,
talking
of
about
Boom
prime Polamalu. We're talking about scooping it up off the field
Bro,
with
Sherman-
his fingertips.
You're talking about one play,
Bro, you're talking. I'm not talking about one play.
You're talking about the
Polamalu
scooping it up.
consistently.
He didn't do that.
I'm
Every
talking
single
about
game.
the stage that he was in his career.
Yeah,
Hold on.
his mentality was.
He hit hard. He was probably top 5 in hardest hitting, top 5 in softest hands.
If he was top five, some of the Legion of Boom were probably top 3.
Name one player that timed the snap better than Polamalu. I can show you a whole highlight reel of him just. Bro, this guy will get to the quarterback before he hands it off to the running back.
So who impacted the game more, Richard Sherman or Troy Polamalu?
Troy Polamalu.
Hold on. So it seems like
He sent them to the Super Bowl.
okay, bro.
So did Richard Sherman.
Okay, so let's straighten something out because I feel like there's some bias here. You're wearing their jersey. You're only talking about one player. You're talking about Troy
I
Polamalu,
wore it for this debate. I said that.
who's the GOAT. I think he's top 2 in safeties with Ed Reed.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Besides him, you can't base a whole Steelers defense off of one player because
Nah. They
because 98% of the
I'm
Legion
comparing
of-
him to Richard Sherman because you guys were telling
Okay.
me he's better than Troy Polamalu.
Okay,
That's
but
why I
just
was
wanna-
talking
I just want
about
to say something, okay? So we compared him. I don't even want to say we compared him because it's not fair. Take out the best player on the Steelers defense, which is Troy Polamalu. Take out the best player, one player, off of Seattle's Legion of Boom defense. One player, whoever you want. Which defense would you pick?
Seattle.
Let's just say you'd pick Seattle. So
Seattle.
you're being
But
biased.
that's like
just for
saying,
Troy.
but that's like saying, take Michael Jordan off
No,
the
no, no,
off
that's
the
not what I'm
the,
saying. What I'm
the
saying-
Bulls. Yes, it is.
You're asking me which defense is better. That was your true. You said which one would you pick? Would you pick the 2009 Steelers defense, or would you pick the 2000? Hold on, let me finish. The 2009 Steelers defense or the 2013 Legion of Boom defense? You're not. But the way you're answering it, you're picking players.
I got a question for you.
You're not picking
I got a question for you.
defenses.
Wait,
Hold on.
I got a question for
Let
you.
me finish. I'm
Let-
talking. Let me finish.
But I'm responding to that one point. Because this is my point. The player, even if it's just one, they make the defense.
not
Because
true.
look, hold on. Let me tell you. Take LeBron. His first couple years with the Cavs, when he can you even name the supporting cast that he had when he carried
Yes.
them? All right, but you can acknowledge they're all bums, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so take that team, and then take, let's say, any 500 team in the NBA today. I'm pretty sure you would take the team with LeBron over that 500 team, even though it's LeBron. If you take off LeBron, the Cavs become a worse
That's
team.
different, Flo.
It's not.
It's a whole different sport, bro.
Remember, the Steelers defense was great, of course, but Steelers offense was pretty good too.
They were great.
So,
But so was Seattle's offense. They had Marshawn Lynch, bro.
Bro, can I? I don't think you understand the point that I'm trying to make. The question here isn't Troy Polamalu or whatever. You just said you'll show us the highlight reel and scooping up and this. And that. We're not
Bro,
talking
I
about
said
a player.
that after you told me Richard Sherman was better at that time
I
than
understand,
Polamalu.
but that's what's driving your answer. But if it's not Troy Polamalu, it's their defense is not as good. Troy Polamalu made that defense. He legit made that defense. He's the one who you literally said he's the one who was getting all those majority of those
but
stops.
also James
I'm not
Harrison
just-
had Defensive Player of the Year, and go on.
What I'm saying is that defense was great. That defense was solid, 100%. But taking out one player, let's just say, I'm not even going to say God forbid because this is in the past. Let's say he had a season-ending injury in week 2. That defense would not perform the same. It wouldn't because he was majority of their defense when it came to the stops.
But you
What
can
would
say
James
the same
Harrison
for
have
Richard
to do?
Sherman, though.
No, that's not true. You
So-
could take out Richard Sherman. They still have a. They still have.
So you take out Richard Sherman, Seattle still leads defensively in every category that year?
I don't think-
100%.
No, I don't think they lead
100%.
defensively, but I think they still have the same impact where they
100%. Bro, Legion of Boom is mainly their. What do you think the Legion of Boom is? That hard hitting defense? It's mainly their linebackers.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a safety. That's
Michael
all I'm
Bennett
saying.
is a monster.
All right, so you guys go Seahawks clearly, and I go Steelers. Let me just restate my point with going Steelers. I acknowledge that stats wise, the Seahawks edged them a bit, but I think if you look at the playoff run, the specific playoff run that both of them went on, I think that the Steelers defense made more big time plays than Seahawks defense. That's just how I feel.
But the question wasn't big time plays. It's which defense would you? What was your question? True
True
or
or
false?
false.
You would choose this
Was
defense over
better.
this defense, and this year and this year. So, what does it matter about the stops when? Okay, so if I'm I don't even want to. If I'm just a fan and you sit there and tell me, would you rather this team or would you rather this team? This team led all the stats, but this team had these plays that were great defensive stops. The defensive stops that you're talking about were incorporated in the stats, which still didn't edge over Seattle.
Wait,
You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm
I got
trying to
a question
say.
I got a question for Flo since he says the Steelers. Like Alice said when he said the Richard Sherman over Michael Crabtree to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which play was more impactful? Richard Sherman sending his team to the Super Bowl, or like you said, the James Harrison picking the Super Bowl as well. But remember that wasn't the game-winning touchdown. That the Steelers won off Big Ben.
Hold on. So wait,
that
hold on. He asked me a question.
interception
Let me
to
answer.
offense.
He asked me a question. So Richard Sherman stopped Michael Crabtree, and then that play sent them to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he did his job. He got a stop.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Now Troy Polamalu, AFC Championship game versus the Ravens. He picks off Joe Flacco. He runs it, and you guys can watch the play. He breaks.
remember.
He breaks a couple tackles. He runs it across the entire field, literally from left all the way to the right, and dives in for the pylon touchdown.
Yeah.
That play not only sent them to the Super Bowl, but did he not do more than Richard Sherman by number one picking it, not just stopping the play, but running it all the way back like a freaking kick returner?
Yeah.
That I think plays like that is what separates them too. But like I said, the stats do got it. You guys are right about that.
That play that you're talking about obviously is way more impactful because it's a linebacker running through the
But no,
whole.
but that didn't win the game though.
It's not about winning the game because his stop didn't win the game. His stop stopped them from winning the game.
What do you mean?
So,
Sherman won the game.
I mean,
for him.
I get what you're saying. Like he stopped the game-winning, that what would have been the game-winning drive or whatever. But that play was more impactful because a cornerback did his job. You don't expect a linebacker to return at 99 yards.
Yeah, but
Yeah. But
That's one. But what I'm saying is the question. All I was trying to say is you can't base your question off of plays. It's off of stats. Legion of Boom performed. Even if it's by a slight difference, they got the edge.
but so you're saying they have the edge because the stats are slightly better.
And
I'm
it's more
saying
of a
because
unit.
the stats are so similar, but the Steelers made so many bigger plays on defense. That's what puts them at the edge, in my opinion.
But
if you
I get
take
what
just
you're
stats,
saying.
that's your opinion. That's
I
cool.
know. I get, and it's not really. My mindset is it's not really just stats. My mindset is, like I said, hypothetically speaking, I know this didn't happen, but let's just say it did. If Troy Polamalu had a season-ending injury in week 2, that defense would take a hit because that's their best player. If a season-ending injury happened with Seattle, they were so stacked as a unit on all ends of the defense. I'll say out of the 11 players on defense, 9 of them were stacked. Maybe 2 were average. So even if one player fell, there was still another 8 that were stacked. You get what I'm saying? As a unit, Legion of Boom was
So you think they're deeper They got more
deeper and deeper.
That's
and,
fair.
yeah.
I won't argue that.
That's the point that I was trying to
as
because you said you didn't say which players. You
all right,
said
so
which,
here's where the divide is. You're saying they're better because they're deeper. I'm saying they're better because they make bigger plays. That's all it is.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And for context, both teams, the Steelers were 12-4 that year. The Seahawks were 13-3 that year, and they both faced Hall of Fame offenses. Like obviously the Seahawks, Tom Brady and them, Gronkowski, whatever. And then the Steelers faced Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner and Hall of Fame wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald, who's a dog.
Yeah.
But